Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. Tuesday night, clear. Lows in the upper 50s. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. Wednesday night, clear, cooler with lows in the upper 40s. Thursday, sunny, breezy with highs in the lower 70s. Thursday night, clear. Lows in the mid-40s. Friday, sunny. Highs in the lower 70s. Friday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 40s. Saturday, sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. The hazardous weather outlook through tonight for North Texas. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. And now the hazardous weather outlook for Sunday through Friday. There is a chance of thunderstorms across most of north and central Texas Sunday night through Monday night. Some storms could be severe, particularly Monday afternoon and evening, with large hail and damaging winds both possible. A tornado or two may also occur. Localized flooding is also possible in the stronger storms. The ultraviolet index forecast for April 3rd is 8, or very high. The current time is 7:01 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You're listening to NOAA, All Hazards Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, station WXK-35. Serving the Waco listening area. The following reports of weather temperature and wind were made at 6 p.m. Waco, sunny, 80, dew point 48, relative humidity 32%, wind north at 13, pressure 29.97 inches and falling. Temple, sunny, 79, dew point 46, relative humidity 31%, wind north at 12, pressure 29.98 inches and falling. Saline, sunny, 80, dew point 40, relative humidity 23%, wind north at 9, pressure 29.95 inches and steady. Gatesville, sunny, 79, northeast at 9. Lampasas, sunny, 80, northeast at 10. Georgetown, sunny, 82, northeast at 8. At Cameron, sunny, wind north at 8, pressure 29.97 inches and steady. Hillsboro, sunny, 77, north.
What's going on, you guys? Hope y'all are having a great day today. Let's go ahead and see here. We have everyone coming in. So like I said, I've already said hey to a few of you guys. But what's up, Abby? What's up, Gamer Girl? What's up, Robert? Thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. You guys are the best as always. Matt says good evening, Andrew. Good evening, Matt. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Ben Everything said happy birthday. Welcome. And obviously thank you so much. All of you guys, you are the best. Just always know that you guys absolutely rock here. So if you're wondering what's going on the screen right now, this is actually a forecast model, not to confuse anyone. This is not what's happening right now. This is what we are expected to see here for day 3. Basically for, I guess that would be Friday. Okay, no, actually that'd probably be, I'm going to say Friday here. Let's go and see. So today's Saturday. Okay, so today's the 2nd. Tomorrow's Sunday here, which would be day 2. And day 3 would be, day 2 would be Monday. That's right. Yeah, I don't know why I said that here. But like I said, y'all, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. You guys are awesome. Abby says, my heart goes out to everyone in the storms, or the south with these storms. Yeah, it's going to get pretty crazy, but like I said, there is some good news. Tornadoes does not look like to be a concern, but we'll dive more into that here in a second. Let's go ahead and see here, and congrats on 1.17k subs. Happy birthday. Thank you so much, Gamer Girl. Abby says, hey, Andrew, I'm 20 as well. Well, there you go. 20 Club just now turned 20, literally a few hours ago, which is, honestly, it just feels like another day, not going to lie with you guys. But like I said, y'all, thank you so much for joining here. Always remember, celebrate your birthday every day unless you're a whiskey drinker. Abby says, at least get into, or get to drink next year. That's true. That is true. I can also, what else can I do when I turn 21? Huh. That's actually a good question. Well, I mean, pretty much I already have things. I can already pay taxes. I can already do a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, being an adult is just lovely. Anyways, that is besides the point here, guys. We have a lot to talk about today, and I hope you guys are doing well here. We're going to go ahead and switch right on over here to the screen. You might notice my anemometer in the background. I got it propped up to look pretty cool on the stream here. We got GR2 running above my head, so we got a little bit of radar action. We did have a bit of severe storms that did kick off across Florida today. And like I said, we're looking at the models here. This is your this is your NAM model. This is showing it for basically on Monday. We're gonna have a nasty line of storms drive its way through Dallas here. Let's go ahead and see here. Spike says, happy birthday. Thank you so much. How is Southampton, New York? So right now, there's nothing crazy expected for the region there. At least not that is on our radar here as of now. But we'll just, like I said, we're gonna dive more into that here in a second. Like I said, things are probably gonna get pretty interesting here. Let's go and see. It says happy birthday. Thank you so much. Getting older for me is scary. Reminder of more responsibilities. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You get a lot of responsibilities once you turn 18, and literally, I'm no longer a teenager. I guess that's pretty sad. Not gonna lie, but age is just another number. It's all about how you feel, and I tell you, I feel absolutely great. But yeah, thank you guys so much here. Spike says, can I do a snow rain forecast for this week, Wisconsin? Please and thank you. Yes, we got you. Banner thing says we could drink at age 18 in the 1980s. Okay, now I'm gonna show my personal opinion here. Okay, obviously, opinion is one thing, but honestly, what I kind of think is that you should at least be able to have a drink if you're old enough to fight for your country. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but it's like you're old enough to die for your country, but you're not old enough to have a drink. Like that's kind of a bit weird, but that's just what I personally think. I know there's probably some other people who disagree with me, and that's fine, because that is my opinion. But that's just kind of what I think here. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and go into the weather here and stop talking about drinking and all types of stuff like that. Let's go ahead and see here. We gotta take a look at Wisconsin because Spike says that. Okay, I tell you what, we're gonna look at here now. Let's go to see Spike. We're donated $5. Thank you so much, Spike. That was greatly appreciated. You didn't have to do that. Seriously, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. You guys are the best. Always know that. So shout out goes to Spike. Thank you so much. That was greatly appreciated. So, I tell you what, we're gonna go ahead and switch on over here back to the models because we have a bit to talk about here. Once again, Spike, thank you so much. That was very generous of you. Let's go see Banner. Everything says exactly. Like I said, that's just kind of what I think about things. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of odd here. We're going to go ahead and switch screens here, y'all. We're going to switch to my main screen in regard to my central screen here. And we're going to talk about the weather here. Okay. We got a few things that's going on here. Stormy says, looks like that is going to be right under my area here, spooky, but we'll probably see some storms, wicked storm clouds here in distant thunder. Stormy, we'll talk about that here in a second. We're going to look at the models here right now in regard to the overall system, and then we're going to dive into what areas are going to be impacted, and then we're going to move back to models and look at, basically more in-depth views of like soundings and stuff like that. Kind of like we normally do, but this time we're kind of starting off with what the GFS model has to say. We'll probably briefly look at NAM and NAMnest as well. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and switch this over to precipitation type, basically just splitting between your winter precipitation and your normal precipitation. Now, if you guys do not know how to read this, essentially the blue shows the snow's falling across that region, and the red, that's definitely not red. The green shows that there's essentially, basically rain falling across the region here. Now, you might see some hints of kind of pink. That's basically just showing that, maybe a mixture of precipitation, like, snow and rain kind of together, maybe some sleet and freezing rain, like whatever going on there. But yeah, that's essentially what we are dealing with here. What's up, Courtney? Welcome to the live stream. Abby says, I hope to hear a good thunderstorm soon. Yeah, don't we all? I kind of wish that would happen as well. So, like I said, we're currently seeing a little bit of a system drive its way through Florida. Like I said, we just seen a big old line of storms move its way through the region. You can actually see above my head. I can even zoom out here and show you this is actually Florida across the south. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy line of storms here. We have a few special marine warnings just to alert all the boaters out there to what's going on here. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. So according to this model, I have been seeing this. It does look like we might be seeing some snow right now across bits of Michigan. I don't know if this is true. We're going to pull this up here on the main screen. But before we do that here, I'm going to gonna figure out how to turn this off real quick. Turn off the model. Okay, so it does show a little bit of snow falling, but not as crazy as this model looks. That's what we're seeing here. Interpret says, sorry, I forgot to get to Lewis. Lewis says, hi, NW. What's up? Welcome to the live stream here. Interpret says, will Columbus, Ohio see any storms in the coming 2 weeks? 2 weeks is a little bit far out there. GFS was showing severe weather on the 12th to 16th. Like I said, that's obviously very, very far. That can easily change. But we'll continue watching it. We'll see what happens here. I have seen some events that far out actually verify, but it's just a matter of the continuation between models they're supporting and whatever. Let's go and see GF. Okay, yeah, that's what we're seeing here. Gabe says, hi, Andrew. What's up, Gabe? Welcome to the live stream. Gamer Girl says, how long am I going to stream for? I'm probably going to stream here, like I said, usually do between 8 and 9. So we have a little bit to talk about here before we kick on off. So, like I said, maybe seeing some snow across bits of the northern portion of the Ohio Valley. Same thing across the upper northwest. Maybe a little bit of snowfall action across those upper elevations according to GFS. Track down the line here. There is a small area, or there's an area of low pressure that might drive its way. It actually looks like it had, relatively close here. We'll actually pull up the mid-range here, the NAM model. This also does support this system here. So snow across bits of Michigan. It looks like getting ready to drive its way through the region now. We are actually seeing a bit of precipitation. I can show you that right here. A little bit going on across bits of Michigan. Nothing too crazy. Maybe some patchy snow, snow showers going on here. Kind of, transitions here. Once you see the white, basically showing some snow. But yeah, that's what's going on here at the moment. It's not as crazy as what the models look like, but as all this moisture does track its way here to the east, we're going to see what happens here out of this. But anyways, that's what we're looking at here. Let's go ahead and switch on back here to the screen view. So we go ahead and track down here in time. There's going to be an area of low pressure that will kind of develop across bits of the southern portion here of the northern plains. Kick it off, maybe some snow across bits of this, the between region here across bits of North and South Dakota, and 2 bits of central and southern Minnesota here. Kind of here for April 3rd into the 4th. So basically starting off here, it looks like later on tomorrow, kind of tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, stretching its way here. Maybe a little bit more snow activity across bits of Michigan. Maybe it looks like a little bit of rain could be mixed in as well here for the 4th in regard to things. And then we get a big old system. This is that big boy that's going to be driving its way through the region here. You can see it right here on the model. So we're going to get some storms that will fire off here across bits of Texas. It does look like for the later portion of the 4th into the early 5th here. It's going to track its way across bits of basically the western southeast here. Tracking its way here to the east as we do move it through time, and 2 bits of Alabama, Mississippi here. Yeah, so we're going to see through Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, maybe even bits of Tennessee. And I have been seeing maybe some support here across the Carolinas, as well as maybe even southeastern Virginia as well. We're going to see what happens with this. And, but like I said, I don't expect tornadoes to be a major concern, which that's obviously great news. But there is kind of a downside to this. We are expecting some very, potentially very large hail, as well as maybe some very, very strong winds. Like I said, we're going to dive more into models in regard to soundings here in a second. We're going to take a look at that here in a minute. Okay, so that's essentially what we are talking about here. So what was that question here? Spike says, can I do a snowfall rain forecast here for Wisconsin? So Wisconsin is the beautiful state over here. Right now it does look like a little bit of rain showers across Wisconsin. Nothing too crazy going on at the moment. Track down here in time. Like I was saying here, we are probably going to start to see some snow into the western side of Wisconsin, kind of for the early portions here of the 4th, into the late portions here of the 3rd. Kind of what it looks like here according to this model. We'll pull up NAM to kind of confirm, NamNest to kind of confirm this. And yeah, you can obviously see it right there. There's going to be some snow driving its way through the region. Now, in terms of how much, it looks like it's quite a quick system here. So, honestly, I would not be surprised if there really isn't that much snow. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're kind of looking at, the most accumulation just in the southern portion here of Wisconsin. Maybe 3 to 5 inches, locally higher amounts being possible. NAM kind of does show the same thing. So we do have a bit of model support going on here. What about RAP? RAP kind of showing the same thing. Okay, so maybe 3 to 5 inches across the southern portion here of Wisconsin. Kind of being expected. Like I said, not too crazy, not too much crazy snowfall going on here at the moment. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Let's go ahead and see here. Is your area good? Yes, for now my area is fine. Snow and rain looks for sure in Wisconsin this week. Winter may never end. That is a probable thing here. Honestly, winter is still fighting to add every little bit it can. I mean, we're already literally 2-3 weeks into spring now. I think it started on the 20th of March, so about 2-3 weeks we've been going on in this, and you know, it's not showing any sign of any here. Let's go see. Lewis says, happy birthday. Thank you so much, Lua. Greatly appreciated. Interpret says, will the 4 out of 5, or 4/5, so basically the 5th of April here, to 4/7 do anything in Columbus? That is a good question, and I don't think so. Actually, I know so. It's not going to, because essentially we're having all of this here to the south. I'll go ahead and show you guys here. We're going to take a quick little look here at supercell composite. Like I said, this basically just overlaps your instability parameters as well as your wind shear. Kind of looks at the best places I could see that happen here. So, you know, honestly, this is actually a new trend here. The models is maybe showing a little bit of something happening across southeastern Ohio. But like I said, we're going to watch this. You know, kind of towards Columbus, though, it kind of looks a little bit towards the no. But let me actually pull a sounding here really quick. I know I said I was going to wait on that here, but, you know, this actually got my attention here. We'll see what happens. Gamer says, my friend got tested for COVID today and a big percent to be positive, but luckily it was negative. Well, that's obviously good. It's good to be that. Okay, that is... Wow. That wind profile is very aggressive. You see this kind of hook going on here? This is a classic sickle-shaped hodograph. That would... If it had a lot more instability in play here, there would probably be some big tornadoes. But the good news is that the instability looks on the weak side. We're talking around 300 mixed layer cape, which that's kind of a bit limited here. You know, honestly, that's really not much instability in the atmosphere. You can barely see it. There's like barely any coverage here. You know, thunderstorms probably have a hard time firing off. Dew points in the upper 50s, which, you know, it can work, but like I said, instability is a bit questionable this time. The wind shear is there. The wind direction is there. I mean, look, this just shows that classic look, that northerly flow at the surface and that northeasterly flow towards the mid to upper levels. That is a classic representation of a high shear environment, potentially showing some very crazy stuff going on here. So we got to watch this, but like I said, instability is a bit low. We got to watch for an uptrend, a possible uptrend, and see if this maybe actually does increase. We'll see what happens here, but the shear's there, instability is really not. So, we're going to watch this here for a little bit longer. Obviously, you can't go off one model either, but the thing is that there's really not much long-range models going out this far that we can look at here right now. You know, right now we're just kind of skimming GFS to kind of look at what could be expected, but obviously, like I said, you really can't just trust one model individually here. So, we're just going to wait for those mid-range models to pop in, and once they do, you know, such as NAM, and, you know, once the shorter-range models such as HRRR and RAP come out as well, that is essentially... what we're seeing here. So yeah, that's essentially what we're looking at. Weather Central says, hello, what's up, Weather Central? Welcome back to the live stream here. Hope you're doing good. It's been a while. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I saw your comment earlier. Seriously, thank you so much, Weather. All of you guys, thank you so much for the birthday wishes here. Let's go ahead and see. Interpret says, so maybe. So, I'd say keep a watch on it. You know, it's kind of hard to say yes or no right now, because like I said, the shear's there, okay? The energy... the wind energy is there from the surface all the way up. But the instability is what I'm kind of worried about. I mean, we can even take a look here at mixed layer instability here. I mean, look, we're only showing values here maybe as high as around 500 or so. But, you know, honestly, like I said, you cannot trust this at all. Because this is still, I mean, still a few days out for one. And plus, this is just one model. And I swear, I mean, look, we'll even go back a model and see if it's there. Take a look here back at a previous model. So it is there, but the thing is that it's showing a lot weaker instability. So it's kind of bouncing all over the place. It's not really something we can say. It's kind of a bit low confidence mode at the moment. But we're going to continue watching this here. But like I said, y'all, we're going to discuss the models here in a second. I just want to kind of do that quick little dive for you. But we're gonna discuss the southeast here in a second. But first, let's go ahead and switch on over here back to the main screen. So we're back to our little program here. So like I said, we are currently seeing a bit of stuff kicking off here. Like I said, we did have some storms move through the region. You can actually see on the screen above me, that's essentially what's happening down here. Just north of Miami, just east here of Coral Springs, as well as West Palm Beach. East of that, got some nasty storms here just to the east of Daytona Beach kicking off, but it's all in the water. Everything is okay. No impacts here across the U.S. mainland. Maybe a few bits of showers going on across the Ohio Valley here into bits of Michigan, where maybe some snow is possible here, like we were seeing here. Let's go ahead and see here. Oh, Jenny says, happy birthday. Thank you so much, Jenny. Greatly appreciated. Sorry I'm late. You're good. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's essentially what we are dealing with here. How is the edge of Florida today? That's what we were just looking at. There's a few storms exiting the region here, Florida, but other than that, I think you're pretty good here for now. But down the line, we got to watch this because this upcoming severe system is expected to impact Florida as well. Especially the northern portion. We're going to discuss that here right now. So that's basically what we're dealing with. Maybe some upper level snow showers and rain showers across the regions here, across bits of western Montana and northwestern bits of Wyoming here. Now, basically, where those lower elevations are, it is more rain than anything, and across those upper elevations, it is more snow, where the atmosphere is a bit colder, which does allow for that precipitation change from rain into snow to take place, in which that's essentially what we're dealing with here right now. Jay says BRB, making dinner. All right, that sounds fine. But so, guys, we have a bit to talk about now, okay? Now, here's where we got to be paying attention close, okay? We're going to be talking about this upcoming event. Now, we're going to start off with a day one convective outlook here. This is your thunderstorm forecast for today in regard to things. Like I said, we have that little risk here. It's actually they actually updated that to a slight risk here. Across the region, across bits of the region. I do believe it's mostly over for this event, though, because like I said, this line has already moved this way through these regions here. We're probably going to wait for another convective outlook, update to come out through here. So we're going to continue watching this here, but for Palm Bay, we have a slight risk here in effect. Tornadoes is a 2% chance, a pretty low chance, lowest in chance, very, very small 2% chance here. Let's go and get rid of the radar here. Go ahead and turn off next rad as well. So yeah, that's essentially what we are dealing with here at the moment. Small tornado threat here, but like I said, it looks like a lot of those storms have already moved through the region here. So, I do believe we need an update for this. Hail, however, hail is going to be a pretty big concern. Obviously, this 15% chance, showing a pretty decent hail chance here. I was actually looking at one of the warnings that moved through Orlando earlier, and they actually warned that thing there for essentially 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and ping-pong ball-size hail. So I knew that hail was a big concern, damaging winds as well. So like I said, today's convective outlook is nothing too crazy, nothing too crazy, especially like we have been seeing lately, but that's going to change. So then we move on to our day 2 outlook. This is for April 3rd, or tomorrow. We have a slight risk in effect here across bits of the central and southern plains, across the regions here. So this does include Oklahoma, bits of basically west central portions of Texas here. We have 2 different risks. So essentially how this works, we have the dark green. We actually have 3 shades here. We have a light green, a dark green, and a yellow. So the light green across the regions here, this basically just shows that maybe some thunderstorms might pop off, but the thing is they're not expected to be severe by any means. So they're not expected to be severe across these regions here, kind of across this light green color. But then you move into the dark green. Here's where things get a little bit interesting. So this is where the first level of the severity comes in. Severe threat level 1 out of 5. Now, essentially, like I said, imagine a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest chance for severe weather, the lowest potential for severe weather, and 5 being the absolute maximum that the atmosphere can show us. So this is a 1 out of 5, the lowest threat, and the slight risk here. This is severe threat level 2 out of 5. This does include Wichita Falls. So that's what we're looking at here at the moment. So here's the thing. So like I said, the greatest threat is obviously across the yellow here. So this is where we got to be watching out for tomorrow. Now, in regard to tornadoes, got some good news. No tornadoes are expected for tomorrow. However, hail, yes, there is a pretty decent hail threat across the brown where that marginal 1 out of 5 threat is. We have a 5% chance of seeing hail 1 inch in diameter and greater. This does include Midland. It's basically just southeast here of Amarillo. This also does include Oklahoma City. Like I said, this drives its way through bits of Oklahoma into the western side here of Texas as well. So 5% chance of seeing hail 1 inch in diameter and greater, basically just the size of a quarter, expected across, being possible. 5% chance is a low percent chance, but, it is showing that there is a potential for maybe some hail that could occur here. So, like I said, 5% chance of seeing some hail across the regions here to brown. But then we move into the slight risk. Like I said, severe threat level 2 out of 5. This is where we get an upgrade here. This is basically where we have a 15% chance of seeing hail 1 inch in diameter and greater. So same threat, just higher probability across the region. Then we move into damaging winds here. Same thing, 15% chance of seeing damaging winds 60 miles per hour or more. Those are wind gusts. That's not sustained winds, that's wind gusts from some thunderstorms. 5% chance a little bit lower across the same regions here as well. So that's for tomorrow, being April 3rd, also on Sunday. So then we move on to our day 3. So this is for Monday. This is where things get pretty crazy. and you're going to see this risk get pretty big here. So we have a pretty decent risk here, a pretty large risk to be exact here. Across a lot of the southern plains into the western southeast, this will be the beginning of the event, as we were looking there on the beginning of the stream when we did pull up the overall view here. So, like I said, we have this. We have 3 different shades. Maybe some thunderstorms could be possible around in these light green shaded colors here. Some thunderstorms not expected to be severe. 1 out of 5 severe threat across the dark green. 2 out of 5 across the yellow. So we have a pretty large yellow threat here, pretty large slight risk. 2 out of 5 severe threat. This does include some populated areas here. So across the marginal, severe threat level 1 out of 5. Like I said, a scale from 1 to 5 being the absolute lowest, 5 being the absolute highest. We have a 1 in effect here basically for San Antonio, Houston, New Orleans, just west of Montgomery, south of Oklahoma City, south of Russellville, that being Arkansas. So that's what we're talking about, 1 out of 5 severe threat. Then we move into a large slight risk here in effect. So this does include bits of Killam, as well as Dallas here, Shreveport, and Jackson, Mississippi. These areas have been seeing a lot of severe weather recently. And honestly, this is probably going to continue to be the trend. Like I said, severe season usually starts out in the southeast. It usually starts off with all that Gulf moisture driving its way in across the southeast, usually during those early months, like we saw. March was very active. I do expect April to be as well. Now, March, yes, that is kind of what we are seeing here. We did see a lot of storms, a lot of tornadoes, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. Interpret says, what radar do I use? This one is GR level 2. That's right above me. But yeah, that's essentially what we are talking about. So severe threat level 2 out of 5. Now, in regard to things we cannot discuss, it doesn't have a tab here to show you what's going on, but I can tell you from a personal perspective, because like I said, Storm Prediction Center does not break it down this far out for day 3. Like I said, for Monday here. But I can tell you that, the majority of the threat is going to be large hail, very large hail, and extreme damaging winds. Likely over 70, 80 miles per hour being possible as of now what the models are trending, as well as some hail pretty large. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what size yet, but expect them to be pretty decent. I do expect definitely a higher percentage than a 5% chance for sure. It's probably going to be pretty significant. We're going to watch this, and we're going to see what happens. But yeah, tornadoes I don't expect to be a threat, though. There is not enough lower-level support. There's not enough wind shear at the surface. The wind direction's a little bit wonky as well. So, no, I don't expect any tornadoes to occur here for Monday. Then we move into Tuesday here, day 4. So as the cold front progresses to the east, so does the severe threat along with it. Now, you might notice, where did the other shades go? There's just a yellow here. So after day 4, or after day 3 here, basically after Monday, what they do is they issue a percentage instead. So this is showing a 15% chance of severe weather, because this is basically what they do just for further out, because this can obviously still change in confidence levels. But right now we are seeing a 15% chance here of severe weather across the yellow area. This does include Louisiana, the eastern side, central and southern Mississippi, pretty much 3/4 of the entire state here of Alabama, basically from the north central and down, and to pretty much the entire state here of bits of Georgia into western South Carolina. And obviously, like I said, the entire panhandle here of Florida is vulnerable for severe storms here for Tuesday. Now, like I said, tornadoes I don't expect to be a concern. However, damaging winds and large hail is our main culprit here. Then we move into day 5. So it kind of just remains here. It kind of looks like it just remains here. Still the same threat here across the region here for day 5. This being Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday here. Then we move into Thursday, and as the cold front, like I said, as it tracks its way to the east, so does the severe threat along with it. We have a 15% chance here across bits of Virginia Beach, Jacksonville, Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, Greenville, Enfield, Fayetteville, as well as Elizabeth City. So we got to be watching out across all of those regions here for severe weather for next week. Starting here, basically, we're getting severe weather possible tomorrow, but the main bulk of the event is not supposed to happen until Monday. And once Monday does come around here, we're gonna need the brace, because like I said, there is some good news. Tornadoes does not seem to be a big concern, but like I said, hail and damaging winds is kind of our main threat here. Ron says, what about weather for the sun and flying here in Lakeland Airport, Florida? Happy birthday! Thank you so much. So I guess Lakeland, that being Lakeland, Florida, I actually have family that lives there in Lakeland, right down here, just pretty near Tampa. Lakeland's right here, just east of Tampa. So. What about the weather for sun and fun flying? So, right now, we can actually take a look here at the satellite view. Obviously, we have a little bit of a system driving its way through the region. I'll go ahead and show you what's going on right now. You can kind of see it driving its way through Florida. We'll actually go ahead and zoom in here, kind of show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, Florida's dealing with a little bit of something going on right now. They've been dealing with a lot of storms here. Today there was some pretty crazy thunderstorms that did kick off here. Let's just watch this unfold. I mean, just look at this. I mean, satellite's awesome. Satellite's just such a cool view here to see. We'll go and wait for some of the scans to load here. It's just absolutely beautiful to see what happens. I mean, if you pay really, really close attention, we'll even zoom in a little bit further here across the southern portion. You can actually see those cumulus clouds. You're about to see it pop up here. You can see some of those cumulus clouds actually transitioning into thunderstorms here really, really quickly. So there's those cumulus, and bam, the wind shear kicks in, and then they start to fire off, which is really, really cool here. So Ron says, what about the weather for sun? So essentially, usually after these systems, they do bring some more stable air here, in which we're going to switch back over to the models here. So, like I said, we're seeing this one system here drive its way through the region. Now, I'll tell you what, let's try to pull up Tropical Tidbits. I feel like there's a good satellite product on here. Infrared satellite. I feel like there's another one somewhere. IR satellite. Well, there's obviously that crazy system. But like I said, after the system here, it does look like it's probably going to be a little bit nicer. Maybe some average thunderstorms firing off here across Florida here for tomorrow as well. Honestly, that's a typical Florida thing here. But you're looking pretty good. Like I said, for tomorrow, probably going to be mostly sunny here, but like I said, some thunderstorms being later on. But the winds still might be pretty high here, essentially, because like I said, the cold air backs behind this system here, and it causes that wind shear to obviously kick up here. But yeah, that's what we're talking about in regard to that. Honestly, and then we get this other system that starts kicking off here across the Central Plains. That really has my eye here. We got to watch this here very close. We're going to see exactly what's going to happen with this. This could get pretty crazy in regard to hail and damaging winds, like I said before. Overall, it's going to be pretty interesting to see exactly what happens here. Alrighty, guys. So now it's the time of the stream here where we look at some models. We already looked at some models here, but now we need to discuss some other things. So we're going to start off here by taking a look at NAM. We're going to start off here across the southern portions of the plains. So like I said, we are expecting to be able to just kind of kick off here for Monday. So we have some instability that starts driving its way up across the region here for tomorrow. Basically for the late portion of tomorrow into early the 4th. That's actually a decent amount of instability here. There is a bit of a cap in place. We'll go and grab a sounding here just to check it anyways. KJ says, yo, what's up, KJ? Welcome to the live stream here. So, okay, so this is obviously showing some pretty interesting things here. Dew points in the mid-50s, which is kind of a bit eerie here. There isn't really much of a cap. There's a lot of energy here. But a lot of that, honestly, a lot of that rising energy here kind of starts around the mid-level. So it's going to be hard for storms to fire off. I honestly don't even think they will, according to a sounding like that. But the big action is going to kick off here for basically the 5th. So then we start to get a lot of this instability start to kind of build in here. Not much cap here. We're talking near 1,500 joules per kilogram. That is a decent amount of instability here. So now this one is showing some things. So obviously we have a dry atmosphere here across the mid levels, with our wet bulb zero temperature kind of cutting right under the freezing point, right under 700 millibars. I know you guys didn't understand anything I just said, but essentially what that's telling me is that maybe we could see some hail. Precipitable water is also pretty low, which that's basically just allowing the more higher that value is, the more weight is being pushed down on an updraft, which prevents big hailstones from forming. The fact that it's a little bit lower of a value is showing that potentially larger hailstones could be a concern due to that dry atmosphere we are expecting. Not much saturation. So, big hailers is expected here. Now, a possible tornado could be possible. Obviously, you can't just go off of the potential hazard type here, which I've seen too many people do that here. But essentially, that's what we're talking about here. So at the lower portion of the atmosphere, we do have some pretty weak wind shear. I mean, we're talking 20, 30 knots, 20, 30, 40 knots, which is nothing special. So tornadoes, a week's brief spin up could be possible here, starting out with the northeasterlies, but moving more towards the east as you go up in elevation. So there is a slight change, and essentially a slight change in wind shear here direction. So what could you say? Maybe a weak tornado could be possible. Probably low-end tornado threat. Nothing substantial. Nothing too crazy. But like I said, hail and damaging winds is going to be the concern. Then we move into bits of Louisiana into Mississippi. So this is for the afternoon, evening hours here for the 5th. This is where the sun absolutely heats up the surface at its max potential here. And, you know, we're actually seeing this instability values here kick and crank way over 2,000. That is a lot of instability. That's a lot of thunderstorm fuel that is in the atmosphere here. So we're going to go ahead and grab a sounding here across bits of Louisiana, as well as bits of Mississippi as well. So across Louisiana, it's actually pretty concerning. Now, this, like I said, this does say tornado, but I don't expect tornadoes to be a concern here. Just considering, like I said, the wind shear. There goes my camera here for the first time on my birthday here. Let me go ahead and fix that here for you guys. But like I said, you know, just because that says tornado does not mean that that is going to be the case here. And I do have a few reasoning of support here to show you why. First of all, our wind shear here towards the surface, which is a key element for tornadoes forming, is very weak. We're talking, like I said, 20, 30 knots. It's nothing special. There goes my camera again. Man, that thing is really getting on my nerves here today. Thing's definitely not playing nice. Okay, so like I said, essentially what's going on here is, like I said, there's some pretty weak wind shear going on, basically just weak winds here at the surface. So I don't expect tornadoes to be a concern. Like I said, all these winds are traveling pretty much in the same direction, you know, from the surface to the upper levels of the atmosphere here. So it's mostly just linear, and you can even see that linear path here by the pretty much just almost straight line on your photograph pointing to the east. So this will be an easterly motion storm. This will be tracking its way to the east, which, you know, honestly is kind of expected here. So like I said, dry atmosphere, a very dry atmosphere across those levels here. No cap, dew points here in the lower 70s. Absolutely A+ for moisture content. That'll be definitely good fuel for thunderstorms here. Dry atmosphere, we got that, you know, we got that pretty strong moisture supply here at the surface. A lot of instability here from the surface all the way up to just under 12 kilometers, so I'd say about near 3,500 feet or so. Pretty high up there. Now, like I said, I don't expect tornadoes to be a big concern. However, large hail, yes, I do expect that to be a pretty big concern. Damaging winds, we're seeing decay, basically that downdraft energy like I was saying here. I don't expect you guys to know this, but basically what this is showing me is that we could see some pretty gnarly wind gusts. Like I said, potentially over 70, 80 mile per hour wind gusts and higher possibly. Pretty bad. So that was across Louisiana. Then we move here towards Mississippi. Now things are getting, they're pretty similar for the most part actually. Very similar. You know, like I said, that pretty weak. Actually looks like maybe a little bit of a kick in that wind shear across those mid to lower levels here, but still at the surface is pretty weak. But, you know, they're all still traveling here in the same direction. It's mostly just linear shear going on here. You can obviously see this has a little bit more of a northeasterly storm motion in regard to things. So that's essentially what we are looking here at the moment. Dry atmosphere, showing some hail, being the concern here. Also, you know, damaging wind potential here is going to be, we're seeing that value over 1,000. So easily over 70 mile per hour wind gust is roughly expected here, which can definitely be a big concern. But yeah, that's essentially what we're looking at here. Let's go ahead and see here. Leslie says, what about Florida? So right now, Florida is getting some storms. Obviously, we had some pretty nasty storms drive its way through. They are moving out of Florida, which is good news. But for tomorrow, you can expect some more thunderstorms kind of around the late AM hours across the central portion of Florida. But it does look like it's going to be majorly sunny in regard to things. But yeah, that's essentially to ask that. But like I said, for the northern portion here of Florida, for the upcoming portion of the event, there goes my camera again. For the upcoming event, there is a possibility. Like I said, that risk does include the panhandle of Florida. So we got to be on extra high alert here. So, but yeah, like I said, that's basically what we were talking about. Let's go ahead and fix my camera here yet again. Man, this thing is, didn't mean to turn it off there. This thing is getting a little bit crazy here still. So then we move here to the east. So now we move into essentially, we move here into the early portion here of the 6th, into the late portion here of the 5th. So we still have a decent amount of instability. It does kind of look like it does weaken a little bit, you know, kind of around 1,500 joules per kilogram. That's still a lot of energy. We're taking one across the central portion here of Alabama. Let's go ahead and see here. How do you loop on WSV3 without it freezing before it moves? I cannot tell you exactly why. There goes my Man, why is it lagging so much? Like, why is it cutting out so much? Another reason we need another computer here. I mean, this is like what, like the 4th time in like 3 minutes? That's pretty bad. That's actually getting worse, it looks like. So in regard to this sounding here, this is actually kind of ugly. We are seeing, pretty weak wind shear, not just from the surface, though, not to the lower portions of the mid-levels, to the surface. This actually goes pretty high up. Pretty weak shear going on at the moment here, so it's kind of a bit concerning. We do have a slight varying wind shear pattern from the northerlies to the, basically to the easterlies here. But like I said, that weak wind shear is kind of a bit concerning in regard to probably not doing much in regard to tornadoes. However, we are seeing that slight bend here, that slight sickle going on, so maybe a weak tornado could be possible here across the region, but we're just going to continue monitoring this. But that's according to one model here. That's basically what we're talking about. So storms are going to fire off Monday into basically moving its way into the week here. But yeah, that's what we are. That's what we're doing with here. KJ says my webcam hates me apparently. It's actually not my webcam. It's my computer. Like I said, my webcam never does this. It never ever does this whenever I'm on video calls or whenever I do anything with it. But the moment I go live here, it always glitches. The same thing for when I record videos. It does it the same thing. Now, the reason it does it is because my processor in this computer is starting to get pretty aged. I mean, it's a decent processor for 2014, being an i7 for people who know what that is. i7-4790K. Anyways, but it's starting to kind of, eat at it whenever you get all these programs running like GR2, my main screen, and obviously my other monitor with WSV3. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy, pretty decent amount of energy it definitely takes here. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. But like I said, y'all, please stay safe here with the upcoming weather. And if you have any questions, guys, I'm going to be here for y'all. Like I said, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope you guys have been doing good. And I hope you guys stay safe here. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. Like I said, we have about 18 more minutes to go here on the live stream. So right now, the time is yours. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. So we're going to go ahead and move on over here to the NAM 3-kilometer model. Now let's take a look at some of this. Switch across the south-central U.S. So this is kind of what we're talking about. We're seeing some potentially nasty storms. So it kind of looks like initiation of these thunderstorms kind of might start kind of more like single-cell action, kind of kicking off around 3 o'clock here for the 4th. Starts to kind of gather that, that line strength here, kind of around the like midnight hours here. Kind of what we are seeing here. Scott says, hi gang, what's up Scott? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Is there going to be very bad storms coming in my city here? Let's go and see. I live in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Let's see here. I need to pull up Fort Walton Beach. Like I said, I'm not perfect with all these locations here, but if I get a general idea, I'll be able to tell you what you can expect here. So here we go. Okay, this is for the Panhandle. So the thing about the Panhandle here, I'm going to go ahead and show you right now. So we're going to switch here back to this. Switch to our day 4 outlook here. The entire Panhandle has a 15% chance of seeing severe weather. So to answer your question, yes, you're going to see severe weather here. Essentially for the days here. Day 3 here, just kind of have a, small marginal threat on the western side. But like I said, as a cold front progresses to the east, so does a severe threat along with it, essentially. So like I said, day 1 being today, being essentially Saturday being today, being the 2nd, tomorrow the 3rd, day 2, the 4th, day 3, and the 5th, day 4. So you got to be looking out here on the 5th. The 5th is, I believe, what? Tuesday? I could be wrong with that. Yes, so the 5th, okay, the 5th is on Tuesday. So be on the lookout here for storms on Tuesday. Leslie says, I hate thunderstorms. Yeah. Jenny says, how about Northern Virginia? Right now, there's no active risk here for Virginia, but I'll tell you what. We're going to take a look here back at the models first of all, I'm going to take a look for some instability across the Mid-Atlantic here. Let's see if any of this energy comes towards the Mid-Atlantic. Like I said, there is a risk for southeastern Virginia down the line. There's really not much model supporting it this far out, which obviously things can still change. But, I mean, this model is kind of showing a small amount of energy here, kind of piercing on the southern flank of the D.C. metro area here. But I don't expect much. No, it doesn't look like it as of now. But this can, things can still change. Things can definitely still shift here. Decent amount of energy here on the eastern side here of the Carolinas, though. A single shift here to the north. I mean, like I said, this is 123 hours out. This is here for the 7th. Obviously, a few days away, 5 days away, this can definitely still change here in almost any direction. So we'll watch it. But right as of now, there is nothing expected for Northern Virginia. But like I said, there is a threat for severe weather here for southeastern Virginia here for the 7th. So we got to watch that here. We're going to switch here back to my view. There you go. So like I said, this is for the 7th or day 6 here. So essentially this does include Virginia Beach being in this 15% chance. Suffolk here as well as Franklin, Carpin, Newport News as well. Yeah, and like I said, this also does include the central and eastern portion of North Carolina, as well as kind of Myrtle Beach here, across the northeastern side of South Carolina. So that is to answer your guys' questions. So like I said, y'all, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat here. Feel free to throw them down in the chat here. So let's see, Jenny says, I got my coffee mug today. Thanks, high quality and super awesome. Thank you. Glad you love it. Jenny, I was actually wondering about that. So, I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah. So if you would like to, I actually haven't seen it, from a personal view yet because I haven't bought one yet. But right now, because like I said, I'm trying to save up more for my computer. But after I get my computer, I'm probably gonna buy some merch to kind of show it off. But Jenny, if you want to share a picture of it, you can either put it in our Discord or in Twitter. It'd be pretty cool to see. That's if you want to. But obviously, I'm glad that you have it, Jenny, and I'm glad that you like it. But anyways, guys, like I said, thank you so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock here. Like I said many times, if you have any more questions, y'all, I'm going to be here for you guys. Like I said, this is usually what we do towards the end of the stream. I take questions, Q&A towards the end. Like I said, we usually start off these live streams by doing an intro, and then we talk about the risk. Today we didn't do that. We usually talk about the risk areas. Then we move the models. But we kind of went from the intro to the models to the risk areas to the models back to the risk areas, and then Q&A. But it is what it is. Jenny says, "Okay, I'll try." Jenny, it's up to you. It'll be pretty cool though. But yeah, like I said, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. You guys are the best. Seriously. Thank you all so much. Guys, seriously, like I said, this channel has been growing pretty quickly, and I'm so thankful for it. And honestly, like I said, just y'all, thank you so much for all your support. You guys are the best here. Jenny says it was packed so well. I feel like, well, that's good. That's definitely good. But like I said, guys, any questions? Feel free to throw them down in the chat here. And because like I said, we're getting ready to call it a live stream here in about 11 minutes or so. So we have a little bit to go, a few more minutes before we go ahead and cut it. So, yeah, look at that nasty storm that's still going on here up above my head. This is for GR2. This is actually moving its way through Fort Lauderdale right now. They're probably getting some ground shakes going on. We'll go ahead and pause this here. Go to the latest frame. Yeah, this is mostly out of the water here. High quality, good packing. Took a while to unpack. Well, like I said, Jenny, glad you enjoyed it. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you do want to check out our merch store, we do have our merch store here. I'll go ahead and link it for you. That way, if you guys do want to check out our merch store, we did add some new cool stuff to it. So, if you guys do want to check out our merch store, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat here right now. And so if you guys do want to check it out, like I said, we have some pretty cool stuff here. Jenny says you're the best. No, you, Jenny. Thank you so much. How about Tennessee? So, Tennessee. Now, in regard to risk, starting off day 3 here, moving to day 4. Honestly, like I said, this 15% risk zone kind of represents a slight risk here. 15% chance of seeing severe weather. This could easily still shift around here, but there is another risk outside of this, a 5% chance, essentially, but they don't show that on here. So Tennessee could see some storms here, potentially severe storms here for day 4. Like I said, day 1 being April 2nd, day 2 being the 3rd, day 3 here being the 4th, and basically the 5th here. Like I said, the 5th is going to be a pretty nasty day compared to what we are expecting here. But yeah, that's essentially what we are dealing with here. But like I said, y'all, thank you so much for joining us. You guys are the best, and just always know that here. So, but yeah, that's essentially what we are dealing with here. Like I said, we do have a slight risk and effect here for today. Some storms driving its way off across the region here. Just southwest of Miami. Take a look at the radar view here. We'll go ahead and pull it up. See what's going on here. Like I said, there's actually a special marine warning here in effect. There goes my camera again. This thing that absolutely loves kicking off here. Let's go ahead and see. Jenny says, "What flavor cake did I get for my birthday?" You're gonna like this one, but the thing is that I didn't even get any birthday cake, but I did have a cheesecake that my mom got me. No birthday cake, but I did get a cheesecake, a small cheesecake from my mom, which was pretty good. I do love cheesecake. It actually is pretty good. But if I was to get a cake, I'd probably get vanilla. Vanilla's my go-to on anything. Ice cream, I don't care what it is. Ice cream, icing, whatever, on cake flavor itself. 100% vanilla all the time. Courtney says, happy birthday. I'm glad you like your watch. I do. I got a new watch here. This was actually from Courtney. Courtney gifted me this for... I'll go ahead and take it off and show you guys, since we're kind of rolling on the final minutes here. So, well, yeah, it's a pretty cool watch here. It has some weather capabilities as well, which is obviously right up my alley here. But it's a watch I got. Pretty cool. It's okay. That's not gonna work. But there you go. That right there, 1,001.5. That is air pressure. That is barometric pressure showing it right there. So that's basically barometric pressure. And then it also does have, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it has temperature right above it. It's hard to see. But yeah, just take my word for it. There's a temperature meter on top of it. Pretty cool. It's actually pretty neat. Jonathan says, "Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good." And I got to fight putting this thing back on, which that's always been the fun part, is putting these watches on. But once again, thank you so much, Courtney. That was really appreciated. Shout out to Courtney. She's the best girlfriend ever. She really is. So thanks once again, Courtney. I absolutely love it. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. So, but yeah, like I said, welcome, Jonathan. Hope you're doing good. Got to see all of you guys here. So, like I said, if you have any further, if you have any further questions, feel free to throw them down in the chat. We have 7 more minutes to go before we go ahead and call it a live stream here. Jonathan says, "How are you guys doing on a Saturday evening?" So, I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. It's kind of a bit questionable at the time. Kind of wondering what's going to happen here in regard to the upcoming severe weather event. It's gonna be quite interesting to see what happens here. Like I said, big hailers, big winds is expected here. It's gonna be pretty nasty. And it's so cool. Look at this. I'm gonna go ahead and change my screen. Okay, I'm actually gonna make this a little bit slower here. So we're gonna go ahead and go back here a few frames. So there's that advection, that Gulf advection. We have obviously there's winds at different elevations here. You can obviously see this. So you see all these puffy clouds? These are all cumulus clouds. And watch the direction here. They're actually pointing to the north, right? They're pointing here to the north. You can obviously see that going off. You see some of those puff clouds going on over here. These are actually, thunderstorms trying to fire off here. Some showers and thunderstorms going off here. And you can obviously see at the upper level where we have this big guy right here. The winds are like literally at a 90-degree difference. Straight up northerlies and straight up easterlies here. But that's what we are seeing here. Great. Happy to say happy birthday, Andrew. Thank you so much, Jenny. I heard there were some solar flares. That is true. I did hear that as well. Actually, I totally forgot about that, to be honest with you. But yeah, you guys, like I said, it's pretty cool to watch here. Just watch all the motion. You can see, like, as the clouds roll up, essentially, you can see how it changes. Like, you can basically see how the clouds change as they go up in the atmosphere. It's really cool to see. They kind of instead of kind of doing a direct 90-degree, they kind of they turn into the wind. It's so cool. And that's actually a good representation of what a sounding shows as well, at a certain level, which it's actually pretty cool to see. Absolutely beautiful to see these thunderstorms. Like I said, Florida, you got a pretty nasty set of storms here today. I mean, look at this. Look at that big old system drive its way through the region here. It did kick up some pretty bad storms across the region here, especially towards Orlando. Orlando got a pretty crazy one. There's Courtney. Story time, we had a big storm today. It was a close lightning strike. My cousin's baseball game had to end early because one run from winning, he was mad. Wow. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and see here. Is there a geomagnetic storm, and does this influence our atmosphere? In regard to weather, no, not really. Not directly. It does influence the magnetic field, obviously, in causing, I don't really know too much about solar storms. Obviously that's kind of different than here on Earth weather, but it has an interaction with the poles and the magnetic field here, which does basically it causes auroras. The bigger the storm, the further down south the auroras go. But yeah, that's essentially what we're talking about. Jonathan says, have a great Sunday. You too, Jonathan, even though today's Saturday. But you too. Anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Hope you guys enjoy the live stream here. If you have any further questions, guys, now's your last chance to ask them. Like I said, y'all, thank you so much for joining us. And Courtney, here's those thunderstorms that went over your area here. You see them? You can see that those tops here, how they kind of bubble up. That's the thunderstorms. That's the tops of the thunderstorms. Maybe it's way directly over Orlando here. And I can even do something even cooler than that. I can turn off data view, pull up overlays, and go to GLM flashes. These are every single little plush you see here is a lightning strike. Look at all them lightning strikes that went by. Florida was on fire. So many lightning strikes across Florida. Pretty crazy here. Jenny says, thank you all. Well, glad to have you here, Jenny. Thank you guys so much for joining here. Jenny says, happy birthday once again. Thank you so much, Jenny. Greatly appreciated. Courtney says, dang, yeah, it was pretty crazy to see. I mean, look at all this lightning activity. Absolutely crazy. We'll even go ahead and switch the lightning activity to the U.S. view. I kind of want to look at that. Let's go ahead and turn off data toggle. Oh, I don't think it shows on here. Or it does. Okay, cool. Maybe it just has to load here because obviously it's not showing up. Let's try continental sectors. I feel like that's the way to do it. A little bit further zoomed in here. Turn off data toggle. GLM flashes. There we go. Okay, now we got some lightning stuff going on here. Matt says, have a great night, Andrew. You as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Matt. Courtney says it was bad here. Yeah, I can obviously see how it was bad. I mean, look at all of that lightning activity here. I'm even going to go back to regional here. We're going to take a look towards the Caribbean. This also does include the regions here. I mean, look at this madness. Honestly, just looking at the Gulf here, this just gets me. It just gets me ready for storm season or for hurricane season here. That is a lot of lightning activity. Anyways, guys, it's now pretty much 9 o'clock, so thank you all so much for joining us. You guys are the best. Always know that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have our link in the description. We have our Twitter, our Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. Thank you all so much for joining us. A special shout-out goes to Spike Fast Racing for tipping $5, donating $5. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. You absolutely rock, man. Another shout-out goes to all of our other donators here. Thank you guys so much, and obviously you guys as well who are just here. Thank you guys so much for being here. But anyways, y'all, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the live stream here for today. I'm going to go ahead and head off here and enjoy the rest of my day here. I hope you do as well. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for joining us, guys. And we're going to go ahead and call it, like I said, we're going to go ahead and call it a live stream for today. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, giving you an updated view, seeing what we're talking about here. And we'll see what the latest reward is here. We're obviously not starting. Why is both my starting and ending one? Okay, well, the stream's not starting. Here, I'll do this. Okay, stream is doing nothing. It's ending. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. Catch you guys later tomorrow. We're going to discuss this event as well. Thank you guys so much for joining. Jenny says happy birthday once again. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you all you guys for the birthday wishes. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later, y'all.
Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the mid-80s. Tuesday night, clear. Lows in the upper 50s. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the mid-70s.